You might find this more than marginally interesting. What has it cost me up to this point to build my watch collection, and how do I feel about it? Has it been worth it? Hello, welcome to The Perfect Wrist. My name is Paul. This channel has been going over a year and a half now. I've got some lovely dedicated followers. I'd like some more. It's all about my watch collecting journey, the ups and downs, unearthing great value if I can in the watch world, in pursuit of that watch that just fits the wrist perfectly. I'm getting closer and closer every month, and there's a few that are already there. Oh, by the way, can you just, if you like these videos, can you just subscribe and like and share the videos? It takes a few seconds, costs nothing. It does help the channel, thanks. But I also have a keen eye and interest in finance. That was my background. And I keep a log of what I've spent on watches, the money that's come in when I've sold, and there's a general net figure which is quite frightening. I can't give you the exact figure because I have a girlfriend that will be watching this. This is probably the one watch video she will watch. And I also have adult kids. Sorry kids, there's not going to be quite as much in the inheritance pot as you thought, but there's still 30 years to recover. Don't worry about that, hopefully. This is a 2.5-year process, building my collection. When I wrote the figure down, I was shocked, really. I'm shocked every month when I update it. Every watch collector knows that it's a bit of an obsession, a bit of an addiction, and there are constantly new trinkets that catch your eye. New dials, new colours, upgraded movements, new case sizes. It's deliberate, obviously, because we only ever need one watch really, or none. Writing it down is a good idea. The benefit of actually writing it down, looking at what you've spent, the net figure, is it's completely calmed me down. As it happens, I've bought some watches this year that I just go for all the time, but I obviously, my watch collecting senses are being honed, and I'm targeting watches that I particularly like, that I know are going to wear well. Plenty of reviews to come of those watches, but the point is, before I go off tangent, the point is, I'm going to sell a few, bring some money in, consolidate towards the end of the year before the annual state of the collection. So it's been a good idea to write the figures down, because now my little watch saving fund, that's going to be used elsewhere this year. The net figure is, up to this point, let's say it's between £10,000 and £20,000. Now, but there have been some very interesting purchases. I've made a move to vintage and vintage Amiga. I also have a more modern Amiga that I'll show you in future videos. There's been a few iconic watches bought, Saab 33. There's been some amazing dials, especially from Seiko, that I've just had to jump into. And I love those watches. For example, the Paddy Great Blue edition of the Samurai that I recently bought, reviewed on this channel. That watch, I keep wearing it. I love the dial. So you can't put a price on that. But there is an opportunity cost, isn't there? I'm very interested in markets and things like that. And in economics, there's a term called opportunity cost. Now, opportunity cost, quite straightforward really. What other utility or benefit could you have had for those resources? In this case, the money that's been spent. Well, let's take a quick look at that. I'm in a fairly good position in my life where I'm not struggling and striving to save for certain goals, but I don't have limitless funds. My income isn't colossal. I would say it's an average income really in the UK, and obviously the benefit of that depends wholly on your outgoings really. whether they are under control or not. So, assuming they are under control, the biggest thing I would say I've gone without, and I will probably have to still go without for the next year or so, having looked at these figures, is a new car. I would never buy a new car, but a replacement car. It certainly won't be electric. Not for another 15 years. A side point. So because surplus funds and saving and energy have gone into watches, a car has pretty much been out of the equation for now. So I have an older car, it has needed repairs. The money that's been spent on those repairs is still far less than replacing the vehicle would be, but it's had some substantial repairs this year. And it's things like that, when they hit, that you look at what you've spent on watches and you think, oh, if I just perhaps had stopped last year. So that's one thing. But as far as opportunity cost goes, there's not much more I would want to do with that money. I have quite a straightforward, simple life. I don't have huge ambitions or ideas to go on luxury cruises. I'm far too young for that. Maybe when I'm decrepit I might go on a nice cruise, but nothing like that. I don't like the heat, so I'm not bothered about hot summer holidays. I'm quite happy to visit villages in the UK, little Yorkshire towns, perhaps Scotland, things like that for now. Maybe Iceland in the future. So what I'm saying is, we all have choices how we spend our money. And we all have interests. I don't play golf. I don't drink much. I like to go out occasionally. I don't smoke. So I don't do drugs, which would cost a fortune, I imagine. So my spare money, my energy has gone into watches. And I'm sure it's very similar for other watch collectors out there. And other people would look at that and they would say, wow, you've spent how much? You could have had this, you could have had that. What about the car? What about our holiday? There's a fly in here. What about the benefits? The benefits of watch collecting, of spending this money on watches? Well, there's lots of benefits. From a financial viewpoint, 60 to 70% of the value of everything I've spent is still there. It's in the cupboards and it's behind me here, or it's on my wrist. The watches are still there. The money hasn't disappeared. And from my experience selling on, I find with used watches, I generally can get pretty much what I paid back. With new, it's 60%. That's generally what I'm looking at. After the eBay fees and things like that, 60%. So enough is tied up in the watches. Another main benefit has been a new branch of life to explore. As the tree of life has blossomed, I've gone off in a certain direction along one branch of watch collecting. I've met people. I have developed a new interest. I've created a YouTube channel. I know more than I did 2 years ago about watches. I didn't even know what an automatic watch was. So there's that. I get a lot of pleasure from the watches. I love watches. I find it a fascinating subject, an endless subject, a subject that I can take through retirement, into the future, even if I can no longer walk. 25 years time, maybe. I can still have this interest. So it's an interest you can take through life. There were also the odd heirloom that I could leave. So that's a few of the benefits. Who knows where the YouTube channel will go? We're building a community. I'm just about to launch Instagram. I don't understand it. I'll have to get my daughter to help. But, you know, that will be linked to this YouTube channel when it's eventually up and running, hopefully within a week. So generally, I would say, other than replacing the car, the benefits have way outweighed the costs. Let me know what you think in the comments. Has the amount that you've spent on watches impacted your life? Hasn't impacted mine yet, but it is quite eye-watering when I look at what the figure is. Feel free to comment. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it, and I'll see you in the next one.